Mental health and autism, while very common, is a very dangerous mix. Hey guys, welcome back to the show, welcome back to the diary. So today I want to talk about mental health and autism. It's a very touchy subject, so I'm going to try and do it some level of justice. Mental health, things like depression, anxiety, and everything like that, is very common in autistic people. Because, anxiety in particular, because of the fact that the things that a lot of non-autistic people understand about society and the world, they know straight away. They can pick it up straight away and they can learn from it. Autistic people, from my experience in general, we don't know that stuff. Not straight away anyway. We'll look at someone and we'll be like, that's not what I meant. Didn't mean any kind of nastiness by it, why are you taking it badly? Sort of thing. All because our tone of voice was wrong. Or anything like that. So, we gain social anxiety disorder because we don't want to speak, because every single time we speak, someone takes it wrong, or it's seen wrong, or it's seen badly. So, anxiety disorder, it kind of comes from the fact that we cannot express what we want to say in the right way. We don't know what tone of voice to use at the right time, so we'll just use any tone of voice. Sometimes it can be flat, monotonous, and boring. So we can come across as bored or dull. Or it can be angry because that's just the way we are. That's the emotion that we feel most of the time. So we can come across as rude or just angry at everything. Stuff like that. It's not just tone of voice though. With social anxiety disorder, the main problem that autistic people face is making friends. Again, it's about making sure that everyone understands what we mean, everyone understands what we're going through, everyone understands what we're trying to say and trying to do. So when people don't understand stuff, it makes us feel bad. And we can't turn around and say, that's not what I mean, that's not what I was supposed to do, because our brain's like, that was not the reaction I was hoping for, what do I do now? I don't know. What? Whereas with a neurotypical person, the brain's like, that was not the reaction I was looking for, right, okay, say this. And everything's all good. So we have to learn or train our brain to be like a neurotypical brain at that point and be like, okay, okay, fine, fair enough, that wasn't the reaction that we were hoping for. Right, so, do this. That's what we need to do, that's what we're trying to do. We need to learn to do that. So, gaining social anxiety disorder is through the brain not being able to do that and not having learned how to say, that's not what I meant, or anything like that. And that kind of leads into things like depression. I mean, with me, I've become somewhat lazy about stuff. I mean, I'm doing this, which is all good and everything, but the thing is, I've had people say that because I'm autistic, I'm not going to amount to anything. I've had people say that I'm not going to cope living alone, that I'm never going to leave home, that I'm always going to be with my parents, or my mum at least, that I'm not going to make anything in my life, and that because I'm autistic, I'm never going to have a job, I'm never going to do anything good, I'm never going to get anywhere in life, because I just can't. I apparently don't understand how the world works, I don't understand how jobs work or anything like that, and that I'll never be by myself, or I'll never be able to live without my mum, or without care. So that's kind of made me lazy, because it's like, well, alright then, if you know the outcome already, what's the point in me even trying? That's why I blame Tory government, guys. It's why I don't vote Tory, because Tory, that's what I see Tory being like. Now, this one's not necessarily about government, it's about mental health and everything, but it kind of ties into that, really, with the fact that the way I remember the country that I live in being when I was a kid, there were lots and lots of opportunities, prospects, and everything set out for me and people like me, autistic, disabled, mentally disabled, whatever. There was a lot of different opportunities for me and us to do what we wanted to do and do it right and have the help and support we needed. Now, there's nothing. Or at least, there's not enough. There are places, but in where I live, there's no real day centre. Not that I'd really go to a day centre, because I don't really need a day centre. It would just be a good place to hang out for the day. But, like I said, there isn't a place like that. There isn't somewhere where highly disabled people or highly mentally disabled people can go hang out for the day and learn some new skills. Yeah, there are community centres and stuff, but it's all for the old people. It's all for the older generation that lives in my town, and that's just stupid. So the younger generation are sitting there getting bored, not having much to do, and then getting told off for graffitiing parts of the town. And it's like, really? You're not putting stuff on for these people, so they're getting bored and they're doing things, and you're having a go at them for doing stuff when you could be putting on a safe way or a good way or something like that for them to do it, rather than letting them get bored and then depressed because they're bored and they don't have anything to do. But depression, for me, it comes out in the fact that when I try my hardest at something, like when I went to uni, the teachers, when I did my interview, the course leader at the time said that my work wasn't up to his standard, and I'm there thinking, really? You expect me to be able to do something that's near professional level at this stage in learning? Now, obviously this is a degree course, so there should be some level of quality in the work, good quality in the work. But for me, someone who went to one of the only colleges in my county that teaches Maya or 3ds Max, which is the game engine, not necessarily engine, no, it's not game engine, it's 3D modelling software. That's it, 3D modelling software. One of the only institutions in my county that has a tutor that's licensed enough to teach that software, who then leaves halfway through the first year with not just a course leader, but a not deputy, but a it's not even subject. Basically, he was basically the lead guy for not just games design or animation, but for IT in general. He did the entire IT department. He was the head of the entire IT department. So department, that's it. Yeah, department leader. The department leader, I'm not going to say he was lazy, because I'm guessing he wasn't. More the fact of a department leader that struggled to find someone qualified. I did say licensed before, but it's more qualified to teach Maya or Mudbox or something like that. Maya, Mudbox, 3ds Max, all of those qualified to teach those software and get them in before we finished. You struggled to do this until halfway through the second year. My second year. It was like a quarter of the term was left. And this guy at a uni looking at a degree course expected me to be at a certain level with that going on. I'd lost a teacher halfway through first year. We all ended up messing about, doing next to nothing, not knowing what to do, not knowing what we could do, or not even practicing, or not even trying to learn by ourselves. Or the teachers involved that were covering the lessons didn't even think to try and put on a YouTube tutorial that would do it. I'm guessing, I don't know, but I'm gonna guess that they weren't allowed to do that. That they weren't allowed to put on just a random YouTube tutorial, because you don't know whether it's true or not. However, they could have still at least checked over the tutorial first if they were that worried about it. Because I've learned stuff from YouTube tutorials. I learned how to model a football, an actual proper football, from a YouTube tutorial. So, what's the problem with it? So, what I'm really trying to say with that tangent is the fact that him saying that he expected me to be at a certain level of quality with my work, despite all the rubbish I went through, despite all the struggles I went through, made me feel bad and made me feel like rubbish, because I wasn't at his level. I wasn't at the level that he expected me to be at. It made me feel bad. It made me feel depressed. Not necessarily depressed, but it made me feel bad, and it would lead to depression. While it's one thing to expect people to be at a certain level after a certain amount of time, it's another thing to say something like that to an autistic person, because autistic people, not only do we say things that get taken in the wrong way, we hear things and take it in the wrong way. So what I'm trying to say with that story is the fact that he might not have meant to upset me. He might have been like, this works okay, it's good. It's just the fact that, given that you've come from this institution that's one of the only places in the county that teaches this software, I'd have thought you'd be at a higher level by now. I'd have thought that they would have prepped you for uni like this and done some really good work and have some really good work. Whereas I wasn't. He might have meant it more as a booster, but it didn't come out as a booster or a confidence booster or anything like that, or a kick up the butt to do better. It basically came out like, your work's rubbish, you're not good enough for my course. That's how it came out, and that's what triggers things like depression in autistic people, because we take it that way. We see stuff like that as, you're rubbish, you're not going to amount to anything, you're never going to do any better, go away. It's another reason why I've been made lazy. It's like, it's like, when you're presented with something along those lines, in the sense of, this is rubbish, you're never going to be good enough, go away, without the direct go away, but that's what it comes out as. We're just left there going, fine, what's the point? I'm not even going to bother. Another story was that when the guys decided that my resubmission work for my last load of coursework for the first year at uni decided that it didn't gain any extra marks, even though I'd completely scrapped majority of what I did, taken the assignment sheet and done absolutely everything on the assignment sheet. Still got no extra marks or anything for it. I even asked them how they wanted me to put it in, how they wanted me to submit it and everything. 2 teachers, one of them got back to me, the other one didn't. The one that didn't get back to me complained about the fact that it was all on the same sheet, and the fact that he thought that I was submitting stuff that wasn't for his thing, and he was all like, oh, you look to have submitted this, which has changed to this, and you haven't said why. Yeah, it's because that wasn't for you. If you'd got my email, you would know. So I do something the way that people tell me to do it, and it's still wrong. So that little tangent out the way for a minute. The rest of the story goes along the lines of, when they decided it didn't get any extra points, I rang up the college and was like, right, well, it was college doing university courses. I was like, right, okay, so it's no extra points, whatever. And the head was like, yeah. And I was like, I was wondering if I could redo. She cuts me off right there. The head cuts me off right there and says we don't allow students to do that normally. Excuse me? I haven't finished yet. Because what I was going to say was redo the entire year. I'm left here thinking now, looking back on it, thinking, oh, she must have been thinking that I was asking to redo the 2 that I'd failed. No. I was wanting to redo the whole year. Not the 2 that I'd not got passed for, and the 2 that I failed. The whole year. And she's like, we don't normally allow students to do that. And I'm just left there thinking, fine. If you're going to interrupt me, what's the point in even bothering or even trying to ask you if I can redo the year, jump on the first year and do it again? What's the point? Because you're just going to interrupt me. And I hate it when people do that, by the way. I absolutely hate it when people interrupt me, because more often than not, it means that I have to repeat quite a bit of what I've already said before I can get to my point, because I've lost where I was, so I have to track back so that my brain can think on whatever else it was going to say. What I'm saying, guys, is mental health is common with autistic people because of the way society treats autistic people and the way society talks to autistic people and the way autistic people deal with the world and everything can cause social anxiety disorder, anxiety in general. Anxiety, just super quickly, it's relatively the same way as social anxiety. Anxiety for autistic people, it's things like, we're not working on my schedule today, everything's wrong. Or, I'm having to ring this person up and I don't like talking to people on the phone. Or, I need to return this item and I just can't, I don't like being a nuisance. I feel like I'm being a problem to this person. I feel like I'm wasting people's time. I don't know where the receipt is. No, I put it somewhere safe and now my brain's like, I can't remember where I put it. Put it somewhere safe. Right, I had a check that was written in the wrong name. I put it somewhere so damn safe. It got lost. because it got forgotten where I put it. Found it several months, not necessarily several months, but months later, in the little letter holder that we've got on the hallway table by the telephone. I knew I put it somewhere safe, and I knew I put it somewhere that it wasn't going to get lost. But no, mental health tends to come easily to autistic people for these reasons. And if you've noticed, guys, if you're autistic and you've noticed that you're feeling a bit funny, a bit off, go and speak to the doctor, guys. I know some doctors will give you medication and send you away. They do that. It's because, like I said, there's not really any help out there anymore, any advice there anymore. But it's still worth speaking to someone just in case. Because if you're lucky, you could get someone to speak to. Women, jump onto the Women's Centre Cornwall and say something along the lines of, I'm autistic, I feel like I might have depression, or I feel like I might have a mental health issue. Is there someone I can speak to? Jump on, see what kind of response you get. You never know. Guys, I'm sorry, I don't know of a centre that's for men, but same to the women, same to everyone. Go see a doctor, see what happens. Because you never know. If the medication they give you isn't working after a certain amount of time, go back. Just go back. It'll do that, guys. Medication, I can talk about more in another video, but depression medication does and does not work. It depends on who you are. There are certain medications that will work for some people and medications that won't work for others. You gotta try as many as you can, guys. A lot do have some really weird side effects. But if you're anything like me, in the sense of your depression is only fleeting, it tends to happen more at certain times for certain reasons, don't bother with medication. You don't actually need medication like that because your depression's not severe enough to warrant medication. All you need is a bit of sunlight, a bit of friends, a bit of music, a bit of videos, just a bit of fun and a bit of laughter, guys. So, smile, stay happy, as happy as you can, and just bear in mind, guys, you're not alone if you've got mental health. I do. I believe I have paranoia and depression, those two of which are not diagnosed. I know I should really go and see a doctor, but there's a reason why I'm not seeing a doctor about this. Because I know that if I go to a doctor and say I think I might have depression, they diagnose it, they're going to chuck me on meds. And I know for a fact my depression's not severe enough. It's mild, seasonal style depression. It's normal. Seasonal style depression is normal. So I will leave this here, guys, otherwise it's just going to get too long. And I will talk some more about depression if you guys want it. Let me know down below. Question today is, what do you guys think? Do you think mental health and autism goes hand in hand, or do you think more autistic people are not quite so depressed or quite so put down? Let me know down below. Let me know in the comments, guys. And I will see you Monday. It is reclaiming night tonight, so I'm going to be quite busy and quite tired because I'm going to be walking quite a bit. I'm going to be walking around for at least an hour. So I'll see you Monday, guys. See ya.
Put a little bit of shit, put a little bit of shit, put a little bit of shit, get a little bit of gasoline. Welcome to another crime scene. Get a little bit of gasoline. Welcome to another crime scene. Get a little bit of gasoline. Welcome to another crime scene. I'ma make it burn. 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 I'm gonna set your place on fire. Let's get higher. I'm gonna set your place on fire. Let's get higher. Get a little bit of gasoline. Welcome to another crime scene. Get a little bit of gasoline. Welcome to another crime scene. I'm gonna set your place on fire. Let's get higher. I'm gonna set your place on fire. Let's get higher.